Recently, a new term has appeared on China's social networks, FUDMO. What does FUDMO mean? In many multi-child families in China, if the first child is a girl, there's often a younger brother. Some families even have several girls before having a boy. These parents often have a strong bias towards boys. The eldest daughter, even after getting married and having children, is expected to devote herself to her brother. From a young age, parents brainwash their eldest daughter with the idea, "You have just one brother, you must take good care of him." This family mindset, heavily influenced by the preference for boys, remains ingrained in the daughter's worldview. As a result, many girls overindulge their brothers, even more so than their mothers. These sisters are called FUDMO by Chinese netizens.
你用自己辛辛苦苦的钱，然后去还一个赌博的账，你辛辛苦苦30年，他为这个家，你老公为了家，不是也辛辛苦苦30年吗？如果不是因为这个事情已经到了这种情况的话，不会发生他态度不会这么坚决。因为他为了帮助你，让你帮助你的弟弟，已经不是1次、2次、3次、4次。你弟弟自己都说了，不管是明着也好，背着也好，你给了多少钱，他自己家人都不清楚。
我不知，我太不知了，我不知。
The woman in front of the camera, emotionally distraught, is named Haixia. Crying, she told the reporter that she had been married to her husband for over 30 years. She has tirelessly dedicated herself to the family every day. Recently, however, her husband suddenly filed for divorce, and even their daughter wants her out of the house. Thinking of all her sacrifices for this family, Haixia feels deeply wronged. She doesn't understand what she did wrong to deserve such treatment. Why is her once happy family falling apart? What is the conflict between Haixia and her family? To get to the bottom of this, the reporter found Haixia's husband, Jinming. As soon as they met, Jinming expressed his dissatisfaction with his wife. He said they had indeed had some conflicts recently, and in a fit of anger, his wife even destroyed things at home. He is furious because of what his wife did. In 2022, Jinming accidentally injured his leg at work and had to rest at home. Due to the lack of income, he thought of the 20,000 yuan he had saved painstakingly. But when he went to the bank to withdraw the money, the balance was insufficient. Jinming doubted his eyes at first. After multiple confirmations, he found the balance was indeed insufficient. This money was meant for their family's living expenses, and the mortgage had to be paid every month. His wife's actions left them almost penniless, which infuriated him.
你光说工资了2万多块钱，我工资2万多快3万块钱，我气走了。我跟你说，不让人瞎，我上班走这上班走那样钱给我取没了。
Back at home, Jinming questioned Haixia, asking if she had taken the money. She admitted without hiding that she had taken it and lent it to her brother. Jinming was furious and yelled, "Go get the money back now! We have nothing left. How are we supposed to live?" Unexpectedly, Haixia refused and said, "My brother is in trouble now and can't repay the money. As his sister, can I just ignore him? We can endure hardships ourselves." Jinming felt Haixia was unreasonable. Still, Haixia said, "I've sacrificed so much for this family, and now you're arguing over this money? Where's your conscience?" Jinming, unwilling to argue further, said directly, "Let's get a divorce." Thus, the 20,000 yuan became the last straw that broke the camel's back, ending their 30-year marriage. Haixia told the reporter her brother lost money in business and is now drowning in debt collectors. She couldn't bear to see him suffer and used her husband's money to help him. Hearing this, Jinming was even angrier. He blamed their predicament on Haixia secretly mortgaging their house for 300,000 yuan to help her brother, who now owes over 700,000 yuan in debts. Jinming even thought of cutting ties with his brother-in-law, but had to use his hard-earned money to settle his gambling debts because of Haixia. To Jinming, family mutual support is necessary, but not at the expense of his own family. Haixia's assistance to her brother seriously impacted their family life. Despite his attempts to communicate, Haixia only cared about her brother and never considered her husband and daughter. Haixia denied Jinming's claims, arguing that if her brother hadn't been in such a dire need, she wouldn't have given him the money. She felt duty-bound to help her brother, regardless of others' objections. Haixia believed her husband only cared about money, neglecting family ties. This deeply hurt Jinming. Jinming stated that if the bank loan wasn't repaid on time, he and their daughter would become homeless. Therefore, he wanted a quick divorce to sever ties with his brother-in-law. Seeing her husband's firm stance, Haixia stopped insisting and expressed her concern over the house. Haixia argued that she also contributed to the mortgage, so the house shouldn't solely belong to her husband post-divorce. Jinming agreed to give her the house as long as she consented to the divorce. He just wanted to cut ties with her brother. Their 30-year marriage crumbled over this financial issue. What does their daughter think about the divorce? Their daughter sided with her father, feeling her mother's actions were excessive. She was frustrated that her mother prioritized her uncle to the point of transferring all remaining money linked to the family's living expenses without a word. The daughter also felt betrayed when her mother missed her wedding to help her brother, leaving a lasting emotional scar. She questioned what the family meant to Haixia compared to her brother. Describing her mother's predicament as self-inflicted, the daughter blamed Haixia for the impending divorce. Jinming noted that his brother-in-law only remembered the family when he needed money. After borrowing 300,000 yuan last year, he never maintained contact, let alone repay the loan. Jinming longed for a peaceful life and saw ending the marriage as the only way. To uncover the full story, the reporter contacted Haixia's brother, Haiba. Haiba admitted his sister's extensive help and confessed his frequent requests for financial aid. Shocking everyone, the money Haixia raised by mortgaging their house was to cover Haiba's gambling debts. Haiba acknowledged that his sister's support led him deeper into his addiction. Learning this, Haixia felt utterly betrayed. Seeing his sister's marriage disintegrate because of him, Haiba felt deeply guilty and wished to resolve the issue. Haixia, however, still didn't see her fault, believing her actions hadn't impacted her husband enough to justify his reaction. Ultimately, under the reporter's persuasion, Haixia realized that her limitless support had enabled her brother's irresponsible behavior. Moved by 30 years of marriage, Jinming began to show signs of reconsideration. By growing up under her parents' education, Haixia naturally became a fu DMO. While helping her natal family after marriage as usual, Haixia's boundless sacrifices, ignoring her own family, understandably disheartened her husband. Indeed, families should support each other to thrive. However, unchecked support undermines one's family and fosters greed in relatives. While helping relatives, one must maintain a balance, never at the expense of one's immediate family. Unconditional aid eventually harms everyone involved.